I would not. No offense, Nick. I would not want you as my manager. Well, actually, what you need to be doing is this. Okay. And what are your qualifications? Yeah. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? Pistachio. Okay. Thank you. We have all the information we need. You just open the door and shout out cookies and cream. Come back in here.
Hey, Marcus is in Disney.
I'm Atrax.
And I'm Nick, who's not in Disney.
We are working class nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right, we are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Thursday, April 18th, 2024, and you can find this interruption-free 243 podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere you can find a galaxy in the
podcast far, far away.
Yep.
You can also find every single Working Class Nerds episode on YouTube. Just search for the Working Class Nerds podcast or go to youtube.com/@workingclassnerds. Click on playlist, click on Working Class Nerds, and boom! Every episode past and present right there for your listening pleasure.
This is why I can't read things off of the teleprompter. I don't have the skills that Nick has. But you can find Marcus diddling around on Twitch Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at kick.com/MarcusB814, twitch.tv/MarcusB814, and on the YouTubes.
You can also watch me play video games whenever I feel like it. Twitch.tv/A_Atrax.
And you can check out Doritos' new creative writing project. In case you forgot who wrote it, that's Doritos! His new creative writing project, all about the search for the deafening silence, is in our Discord, the Nerds community. Of course, the search for the deafening silence is all about, well, inspired by my stopping streaming. So he's trying to find the rebel broadcasts in deep space, which are being jammed by Imperial Command. Find out what happened to the deafening silence in the link to our Discord below.
And you can find everybody on social media. Marcus is at MarcusB814.
I'm at Atrax_A.
And I'm at Nick Verne. That's NIC Bjorn in this week's episode. We are talking about Star Wars Unlimited, the new collectible card game from Fantasy Flight Games. And joining us, if you couldn't tell, is our resident tabletop and board game expert on the show. He is the Grand Master of Dungeon Masters. He is the best mini painter on this side of the Mojave. He is our Nerds community manager. It's Joey Fetta. And if I had the air horns figured out, I would have played them. But welcome back,
I would have
Joey.
preferred the duck quack personally, but that's it. No, thank you very much for having me. Sorry I couldn't fill in Marcus to your expectations in the introduction.
What do you
However,
mean?
that was
No,
good.
hold on. You filled in Marcus extra, like you went above and beyond to fill those shoes because you kept rolling with the punches. He would have been, we got to redo the intro because I said the word wrong.
We do it nice because we do it thrice. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nah,
and I just
baby.
went, correct, rolled with it.
243 episodes. I think they know what we're supposed to say.
Exactly.
And that's why you got to mix it up a little, right?
Yeah, no, comedic flair.
Right. But what's up, man? What have you been up to? Have you been playing any games? You've been painting stuff? You've been playing board games, card games? What you got?
Ton of stuff. I'm still working on this painting commission. I was working on it a little bit before we started recording. It's been a pain in the tuchus.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just because it's a lot of fiddly details for a game that I really don't care about and have no time to deal with. So
They don't call it painting for nothing.
you're so right, man. I'm just gonna say whoever invented Warhammer has a weird thing for skulls. They are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just everywhere.
Yeah.
How do you have that many skulls?
There's a lot of dead people in Warhammer.
It's
A
just
lot.
still so overwhelming.
Yeah, I get it though.
And I'm not even doing like chaos stuff. I'm just doing like old ship skulls everywhere.
Well, the old ship's got a lot of old people who are old and dead.
Dude, it's built into the fucking mainframe of the ship.
Oh.
They
Wow.
use skulls as technology. It's so strange.
Well, that's the best conductor. It's better than gold.
Bone?
Again, no, it's not. I'm just making. I'm
I mean,
totally
they're
shooting
really-
from the hip here.
They're
It's
like
just so
literally
many, dude.
taking the whole use your head just way
Yeah.
too far.
Wah, 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 wah. Wah.
You know, when like that's that whole 2 heads are better than 1. Do you know how many I painted today?
Yeah, it's
Sounds
not
like
the same.
too many.
It's so much worse than 1.
Wait. So how big is the commission? Is it like a basketball? Is it like a?
For those of you listening to audio, you will not have any idea what this is. However, I have a massive box that is full of Warhammer terrain.
Okay, I'm gonna go with at least 2 bread to 3 bread boxes. Got it. That's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
At the very least, this isn't even the 15 pieces that are still on my desk, but we're talking like 40 some odd pieces.
Okay.
Each of them ranging about, what, 8 inches?
Looks like an 18, 12, 10 box.
Yeah. Either way,
Mhm.
it's a significant amount of stuff. I think it's coming out nice. However, I'm so sick of staring at it.
I get it.
But that's been what I've been doing. As far as video games go, I actually have been playing video games.
Ooh,
Weird.
Ooh.
A couple of buddies downloaded Hunt Showdown. I don't know
That's a
if
fun
you
one.
have.
Showdown. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a
It's like
Well,
it's
you
an
can explain
extraction shooter.
yeah.
But it's based in a zombie-infested bayou.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I just really like the art style of the game. Am I skilled at it? No.
That
But
game
it's
is
like really
brutal.
interesting. It's kind of got this horror element to it. PvP also versus the environment with a whole bunch of NPCs. So you kind of like are a bounty hunter. You go in, try and find clues to get you to your bounty. But there's a whole bunch of other teams that are also trying to do the same thing.
Mhm.
Pretty neat. A lot of fun.
Interesting.
Have you fought the giant spider yet?
I have so many times I fought the giant spider, but I haven't fought the crocodile. So
Okay.
the whole game is based in the bayou,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not one fucking alligator walking around. It's
Really?
a boss.
That's odd.
You'd think there'd be gators everywhere you look.
Yeah.
Nope.
It'd be like swamp cockroaches.
I don't know. I
Well-
got 4 hours in the game. I'd never seen a fucking alligator.
Huh.
Probably because of the boss alligator scared them all away. They're like, oh, hell
He's
no.
just so alpha, bro.
We out. I mean, there's also a giant spider. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get it.
Things are whack. But
There's a
that game
weird-
is awesome. I played it for a little bit, maybe like 10 hours when it came out
Mm-hmm.
on Xbox. And it was kind of janky, and I didn't really like the PvP Battle Royale style, but I have seen it evolve over time, and I think it looks really fun. Maybe I'll have to give it a go again and see what it's like now, but
I mean,
I've
just
never,
like anything for me, it's the game is nothing without like people to play it with.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah,
the
that
thing
too.
that sold me. Anything else that's really fun and interesting? Oh, I am, aside from the Warhammer terrain that I'm so sick of painting, I am putting together a submission for my first ever miniature painting contest. I'm looking forward to that.
Is it timed?
So this one is not really timed. It's based off of one of my Patreon subscriptions.
Uh-huh.
So they come out with 3D STL files that you can download for whatever purpose you want, but they also hold monthly painting contests where you submit pictures of your work and they vote, like they have a community vote, and then they have a panel of judges that look at it based on technique and execution, artistic style, those kinds of things.
Mhm.
And the prizes are pretty good. One of the ones that I'm looking to enter into, I could actually win a whole brand new 3D printer.
Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta
That's
find
cool.
space for it, but yeah.
I
no.
mean, cross that bridge.
Cross that bridge when I win the 3D printer, you mean?
Exactly, yeah. When you inevitably win it, then find the space for it, like
Yeah. I don't know if I'll actually win. It's a whole different style of painting. Doing something for a display model. I've always
What do you mean?
So, like if you're painting a unit for like an army game like Warhammer or Star Wars Legion,
Okay.
you're talking high model counts, like 40, 50, 60 sometimes on the table for one army. So if you were to take an exorbitant amount of time for each of those models, it's never going to get done. So you paint to a certain standard that people call tabletop standard. So it looked pretty good from 5-6 feet away, but when you really look at it, it's like, not really too great.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I would put most of my Legion painting in that category.
I would not say that.
I definitely would, but some of the other games that I have, like skirmish games, like Shatterpoint or Bloodfields or Marvel Crisis Protocol, which have a low model count, anywhere from 6 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
You can spend 4, 5, 6, 10 hours on each of the models. But a display model, some take 80, 90, 100 hours on one single model.
Jesus.
Yeah, the biggest painting competition I would say is called Golden Demon. And that takes place every March at a convention called Adepticon.
Oh, yeah. In Chicago, right?
Yep, it's in Chicago.
Yep.
The Golden Demon third place winner for a warband, so I think it was like 5 models, spent 2 whole weeks, 10 hours a day, grinding to like finish the models. He probably spent like a stupid amount of time. Amount of time painting this thing to get third place.
Jesus. Right.
And you can look up all of the entries online. They are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, you could still enter though. Just give it your best shot and have fun with it. And
I can't wait to do it. It's a whole, like I said, it's a whole different style because if I go into it thinking it's going to be a display model, I will pay extra attention to detail and like work on glazing techniques, different types of highlights, like probably like 3, 4 levels of highlight versus the 1 to 2 that I would do on a tabletop quality model.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to test my ability, and I think it's going to be a really fun project. Yeah.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, me too. But I've been talking for a while. Nick, what have you been up to?
I have been, in boring news, basement remodeling. I ripped up a whole hell of a lot of carpet last weekend. We're doing in the basement there is the, staircase down. There's the bedroom, quote unquote, which is what I'm currently sitting in. There's the, utility room, which has like the washer, dryer, oil tank, hot water heater. Yeah, the wall of Ryobi tools, and all that stuff. Then there's the bathroom, and then there's like the main room, which would be like a second living room / theater, big old couch, big old TV kind of area. Well, every room is renovated except for the big old room. That's the last one, and so that's what we've been working on. With like a lot of like the free time. So I ripped out all the carpet. Which they had carpet over they had carpet everywhere in the basement except the utility room and the bathroom. And so it was just gross. Obviously, as you can imagine, like basements get damp. And so carpet with the pad just sucks in all the moisture and it's just like a petri dish for mold. So ripped all the carpet out, ripped all the stuff out, all the foam out, all the tack strips that are holding the carpet in and all that stuff. And then, bleached all the, foundation, cement, concrete, whatever it is. Got rid of the mold, and then sealed it with like the sealant stuff, paint, if you will. Mm-hmm. And now Taylor's been spackling and sanding and getting the walls ready to be painted, and they're almost ready to go. So the last thing got to do is in that room, the staircase isn't like framed out, so it's like you should really have railings there, but there's not. So we're going to end up like framing put a wall there, and that's where the TV's going to go.
Okay.
So we're going to have the electrician. He came today, actually, and he came up for a quick consult. to just see like, hey, can we pull and put an outlet back here so we can plug the TV in without it, because there's no outlet on we're making a wall.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do that. And then I'll probably start framing that, maybe not this weekend, but the weekend after, or so ish. And then that gets sheetrocked and then painted, and then we're fucking couch shopping. I think we're we're going to get a big rug with a pad for that area too, so that Callie, the dog, could run around, because she like slips and slides on the vinyl flooring as it is.
Yeah.
It's like it'll be a big open space. We feel bad if she can't like
get some traction.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what's been in a lot of my free time. But the other parts of my free time I've been filling exclusively with watching the Fallout TV show on Prime Video, which is pretty fucking awesome, might I add. I had very, very little hope, or very like little confidence in Amazon to not fuck it up after the debacle that was the Rings of Power with, the Lord of the Rings universe. And let me tell you, they did not fuck it up, especially in the first like 3-4 episodes where Jonathan Nolan is like actually running the show. It's fucking outstanding. So we were gonna do the whole a whole episode on just that, but I'm the only one that's seen it, and like it just came out last Wednesday. And it's 8 episodes, and they're all over an hour each. So like I'm not at all being like, you guys should have watched it by now. I'm just saying, if you're gonna do a series breakdown of a whole season, like you got to get into the spoilers and like the cliffhangers at the end and like all that good stuff. And I don't want to spoil, like at HX, I'm sure you probably don't care as much, probably. I don't know how much you're into Fallout necessarily, but I know you typically not a big show guy.
So, yeah, my problem is more with the episode length. I'm definitely going to watch it. Maybe I need to just, what I need to do is get a group of friends together and then watch it with them. Because I'm one who, especially with long shows like that, the way I stay engaged is if there's banter, like, oh, I like this. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't really like that. And then I'm more focused and, oh, well, we started talking. Let's stop and rewind it for a little bit. And like, maybe that turns an hour episode into an hour and a half, but then I get more out of the episode and I catch more because I get like different perspectives.
Oh, that makes sense. Right. See, that explains why you like the watch parties so much.
Yeah, because like if I just watch it by myself, half an hour in, it's like, even if it's really engaging, then it's like, well, I want to play video, like especially if it's Fallout or something. It's like, well, I want to play games and also watch this, but then I lose
then
that.
You're not
like,
watching,
yeah, then I'm not watching it. And I tried to watch Fallout today at work when you had suggested it, and I got maybe 5 minutes into the first episode, and I was like, okay, there's no way. Like, this deserves more of my attention than just half-assing it at work.
You're, like, mostly listening to it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I thought, I thought the intro was good. So,
it is,
with the
honestly, the whole first episode, I was, like, waiting for them to, like, not get something right. You know what I mean? And the whole time, I'm like, oh, that's from the games, and 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 that sounds exactly how it should, and that looks like it should. And it was just like, check along the way. And I was like, by the end of the first episode, I was like, I got to like rewatch that because they got the world right. And I was like only half paying attention to the plot. But I think the plot was pretty damn good too. And my dad, who's like, he's played some of Fallout 4, but he wasn't super like, not into it like me or you guys too. He was like, no, that was fucking awesome. So
my wife's into it pretty hard. We watched an episode right before this.
Yeah, I want to have Taylor revisit it because she's a big animal lover, and like really doesn't like watching any movies with like violence with animals, especially dogs. And I watched the first episode with my dad, and then started watching it here. And of course, the only like fucking 40 seconds of the show she saw is the intro to episode 2 with the Enclave. Joey,
I said the same thing to Corey.
I'm like,
I was like, dogs are a big part of Fallout.
Yes,
nothing bad's gonna happen to it in the end.
Right, in the end, it'll be fine.
It'll be okay.
But it's a show, So she was like, "This show's terrible." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, it's quite literally, just this 20-second segment showing which is only there to show you how horrible the literal bad guys can be. Okay.
Yep.
And after that, it's all like, no,
It's
dogs
gravy.
are fucking super protected. So,
And
yeah,
to add to your point about the like how good it is, I haven't seen a whole lot of it, but I saw an interview with one of the actors that was set, and she was saying like, yeah,
Lucy,
I
the
played
girl who
through.
Lucy's the character's name.
It starts with
Right?
an E.
Yeah.
Emil or
Kelly
something.
or something.
Anyway.
Yeah, the actress playing the main character. Yeah, Lucy. Yeah,
Right.
gotcha.
She was saying that she played through the games in order to get like a sense of how the world was and everything. And so then she said it was really cool to connect like when she first put the suit on and the Pit Boy of like, oh yeah, and this connects to this game and this vault and like this and that. So for me, it was cool to see that an actor actually took the time to play video games and learn about the world.
Yeah,
Because there's some movies you can tell they definitely didn't do that.
right. Yeah, and I don't even mind if the actors don't necessarily, but the person running the show, no pun intended, excuse me. I feel like Mark is just burping through this. I don't know why this is making me burp so much. Excuse me, but well, he's not here, so somebody's got to belch their way through
He's here in spirit.
their whole points. But somebody in charge of the show needs to have played the games. Case in point, look at the stark contrast between the Halo show and this. Like,
Yeah.
So, Jonathan, I keep wanting to say Christopher Nolan, that's his brother. Jonathan Nolan, who I believe wrote the first 3 episodes and directed the first 3 episodes, and was like kind of the showrunner, is the way I understand it. But there were other directors and writers for the episodes after that, but he is quoted saying like, yeah, I lost like at least 300 or 400 hours on Fallout 3, never mind New Vegas and 4. So I'm like, okay, he's actually a fan. And like, if you're making a show that's wild about a game that's wildly popular because of the lore and the like world building, and already has this enormous audience that you're making a TV show for, like, just stick with the source material. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
Halo or Rings of Power. Stick with the source material and just go turn that into a show. Look at The Last of Us. They did not like. Yeah. Like, people compare this show to The Last of Us, and I don't mean to go on too much of a tangent on this because I want to do like a whole episode actually talking about like the details. I'm keeping it spoiler free here, but look at The Last of Us. Like, The Last of Us that's an amazing show. It's an amazing product. Like, full credit to actually do that. But that's kind of an easy job when it's like narratively one of the best. It's just an incredible story to begin with. So all you got to do is not fuck up the story. And that's the same thing with Fallout here. All you got to do is not fuck up the world. Do the world justice and then tell a fun story within it. And you got an absolute grand slam home run of a show. You know?
To add to your sidebar, what I am imagining is not going to happen is, or at least one of those pieces of media that's not going to do what you just mentioned, build the world properly, is the Borderlands movie.
Oh, yeah.
It
probably not.
Does not look good.
No, it doesn't.
I didn't even know that was happening.
Dude, look at the trailer. It's got Kevin Hart and Jack.
I'm already out.
Right? Dude.
I'm already out.
It's like
Kate Blanchett as Lilith.
Jack Black plays Claptrap.
Claptrap.
I can get down with that. I got a soft spot for Jack Black.
No, I do too, but it's one of those
I feel
things,
like he could have played a different character, though.
Yeah, I would have liked Jack Black as Jack Black.
Or like TK Baha.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like that would make more sense. Like Claptrap has such an iconic robot voice. Like, it's weird to not have him have that voice.
Why would you
Just
not
go
use
get the
the
guy who
original
did it.
voice actor? Exactly.
Right. And then that's fine. And then give Jack Black a character that he, like, his personality and like the roles he typically plays, sort of like that goofy flavor, fits perfectly in the Borderlands universe already.
Yep.
It's where you didn't need to do that.
He could even be a brand new character.
Yeah.
In a Borderlands movie. And I'd be down with it. Yeah.
Right.
There you
Stick
go.
Bowser in there. But
Just put Bowser in.
But
Anyway,
anywho,
I had to add to that. Like, I've no faith in the Borderlands movie, but the Fallout TV show is one of those where it's like the live action makes sense and it's clearly done well by people who like they put the right people in charge who
Yeah.
appreciate the IP. Even if it's not like, oh, this is my favorite ever, they can understand where
Yeah.
the fans are coming from and connect with them and
yeah,
do it
and,
right.
and things that are important and things like that.
Yep.
Again, I'll keep the spoiler free, but just to like quickly comment on it, there are people sort of up in arms about some stuff that happens at the end of the show that they say that it retcons things from Fallout New Vegas, and it completely does not at all. That's all I'll say without spoiling anything. If you think it retcons Fallout New Vegas, you didn't really play the game enough to know what the hell happened in Fallout New Vegas.
Let's go.
So
Nick throwing
suck less.
shots. Yeah, get your lore right, noobs on the internet.
Exactly. That is all
tell
I
him,
will
Nick.
say. Because this is set after both Fallout 4 and after Fallout New Vegas, but it is I don't know if this is. I think this is in the trailer what region of the U.S. it's set, but it's set in Santa Monica, roughly.
California.
So it's in California. But and that is all I'll say about that. It's a good show. I have some. Of course, I will save the rest of my opinions. It's fucking awesome, especially the beginning. First, 3 episodes are my favorite, I think. But the whole thing is fucking fantastic. So go watch the Fallout TV show on Amazon Prime. # not a sponsor, but maybe someday.
Sponsor
also,
us. Amazon Prime.
Right. Also, you can't hit the moon if you never reach for the stars, or there's some saying like that, I think. But
Something
Shoot
like
for
that.
the moon, and if you miss, you land among the stars.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Let's go watch the Fallout TV show. That's what I've been doing with all my free time. So I haven't really been gaming, but I am playing in a Star Wars Unlimited event on Sunday with Mr. Joey Fetta here. Excuse me. Star Wars Unlimited, of course, the new collectible card game from Fantasy Flight Games.
It's a trading card game.
Excuse me, trading card game. TCG, not CCG. Is CCG? Is that even a thing? I said that in the intro.
Collectible card game.
Oh, okay.
A collectible card game is different than a trading card game.
Oh, okay. I will trade you 3 learned experience cards for 1. I don't even know what's a good card.
I'll trade you my
All I
basic.
have is sheep.
I'll trade you my basic Spark of Rebellion Vader for your specialized event, Spark of Rebellion Vader.
I will say I am slightly disappointed at that event version. It's quite literally the exact same art and everything, with just a little stamp that says event exclusive.
Really? If you look at it differently, the art is expanded. So it's a hyperspace variant.
There you
So
go.
it's got no border.
Are you sure?
Which is
It is
huge
special.
for card games.
It is special.
Oh, I stand corrected. You're right. Never mind. Okay.
You
No,
just
that is
want
cool.
a little bit more context.
Yep. No, I stand corrected. I am. Although I just yelled at the casual Fallout New Vegas fans, I just committed the same error.
Casual Star Wars Unlimited fan here.
Damn, you're so casual with your
Not knowing his event
fancy
card
cardboard?
from his
Jeez,
basic
man.
card. Jeez.
Yeah. Can't even recognize the lack of border or not on the artwork. But
Get it together.
Yeah.
What a noob.
Calling it a collectible card game.
Oh my God! Get him out of here. On that note, I am out of here. Atrax, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, man. Well, first off, I've been playing more Hollow Knight. I am officially 3 episodes in. I haven't released the 3rd episode. It's coming out tomorrow. I've got the basic framework up. I was working on it before the show.
Nice.
But for those who don't know, I've been playing through Hollow Knight, which is a 2D Souls-like game, platforming game. It's a lot of fun. It's really difficult. I've died a lot to the platforming and such, but it's still fun. Episode 2 kind of sucks because I didn't have the game sound, so it's just me talking over music.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Hopefully, I mixed it well, so it sounds good enough. But obviously, you always want game sound.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of fun to play, and I'm looking forward to hopefully finishing it. In the past, I've done a lot of YouTube series that I've started and never finished, so hopefully I actually finish this one. I'm hoping to make it through. We got to finish the game at least.
I believe in you.
Thank you. Also, too, I've been playing Incursion Red River, which is a solo/co-op Tarkov style game, but there's no PvP. It's all PvE, which is a lot of fun because that's the one reason I don't like Tarkov. There's a lot of cheaters because it's a really difficult game, and I don't know. Just playing Incursion has been a lot of fun. Got one of my friends to play. It's only $13.50 right now on the store. I think full price is like $17. It's early access, so there's only one map. It's kind of limited, but the game is difficult enough to where playing on one map isn't that big of a deal, at least for now.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
there's a lot of things to learn, where stuff is, how to, operate around the map. The bots are pretty difficult. They'll goon you if you're not paying attention. And then because it's Tarkov-like, you lose all your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to be pretty careful. Even with two people, if one of you goes down, you can't revive the other person. So you have to move as a squad and all that fun stuff.
Mm.
It's been good. It's been good times. Highly recommend. Incursion Red River. Go check it out.
All right.
Also on sale, Elder Scrolls Online. That's been a lot of fun. I swooped the Necrom Deluxe Edition for $26. It comes with all of the Deluxe Edition content for all the expansions previously and up to Necrom. I believe the most recent expansion is Gold Road, which comes out soon or just released or something, but I'm not that invested yet. $26 seemed like a good investment for me.
Yeah.
I've already played at least 15 hours. The combat is fun. The graphics are really good. It feels more like a solo RPG than an MMO, at least at this point. I get that leveling is usually, kind of a solo thing, but I don't know. I just get the vibe that this feels more solo than maybe other MMOs like WoW or Guild Wars 2 or Final Fantasy. This one has more of a just like, oh, hey, you can go here or you can go there, like right off the bat. I think I would made it to like level 10 and I finished the main entry quest, and I right away could go into some of the DLC areas. Like just right, you could go if you wanted to go to the most recent expansion, the Necrom one, you could, or you could start through your solo level, or your main story packed. There's like 3 alliances in the starting zones, like the base game. That's the word I'm looking for. So in the base game, there's like, the 3 factions are at war and all that stuff. So that's what I've been going through. It's been good times. I'll be playing more of that for sure in the coming weeks.
Very nice.
Also, in other fun news, the Counter-Strike Confederation, good old CSC, Season 14 is starting soon. Combines start this Saturday, which are kind of like tryout matches, but not really. Like that they provide rating so that you can get, placed in the different tiers and stuff like that. So you need to play at least 5 combines in order to get drafted. So those start this Saturday. Draft starts May 15th. First preseason day is 16th of May. So I'm super excited for that Season 14. Looking forward to helping out with the media team this season a lot more. Because I joined the media team like halfway through last season. So when I knew for sure that I wouldn't be playing. So it'll be fun to join on some casts and stuff like that. Up in the CSC, join the Counter-Strike Confederation. In Game of the Month news.
Game of the Month news.
I still have yet to beat another boss run in Moonbreaker since my very first playthrough. I feel like the game was being really nice to me. I tried 2 more times. Granted, I did try different teams than my first playthrough, but I got wrecked both times. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing. The game does have a learning curve for the different play styles, but it's still been fun learning, like, oh, I can do this with my units. I can do that. I could, I can block off this area and throw mines over here and layer this, if I'm
Yeah.
using a range team, or, oh, okay, I'm a melee team. How do I get close range against this range team and beat them without taking too much damage? And I don't know. There's just a lot of depth to it. It's a kind of a small community, not a whole lot of people playing on Steam, so go throw it on your wish list. It's an entire minifigure experience, Moonbreaker. It's a lot of fun. I hope to record some more playthroughs too, because it seems like people are asking for content for it, but there isn't a whole lot out there, so it seems like a good opportunity. And yeah, check it out. Game of the month, Moonbreaker. Lots of fun.
Sweet.
Yes, indeed. Nick, do we have any AIE news?
We do. AIE is the place to be on Tuesdays because they have mandatory fun night, aka guild night, in Destiny 2, where people just do some fun stuff together. And then at the end of the night, they gang up and play some closed match PvP and kill Marcus, which is fun. Don't forget, on mandatory fun night, the fun is mandatory, but attendance is not. They also have a similar guild night / mandatory fun night in Star Wars: The Old Republic on Tuesdays, but they have mandatory fun nights / guild nights in all the different games, all different days of the week, and you can find the info for that in the AIE Discord. Speaking of which, if all this sounds fun to you, go to AIE-guilds.org, get our Discord information in the top right-hand corner of the website, click that purple button, and ask for a guild invite, whether or not you play Star Wars: The Old Republic, Destiny 2, Elder Scrolls Online, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, let's see,
Lord of the
StarCraft,
Rings Online.
Lord of the Rings Online, any MMO basically, plus any card games or board games or any game that you also play. We do too, and we would love to have you. And with that, I gotta pee, as usual. And I think Joey does too, although he'll never admit it. So we'll be right back.
My God, what is taking him so goddamn long?
Nick, hurry up, man.
It's all that beer you're drinking. Come on, bro.
Rose before hose, man.
And we're back. So today we're talking about our new favorite collectible and tradable card game, Star Wars Unlimited. It's a trading card game. I stand corrected. It's a TCG, not the CCG.
They're very
Star
similar.
It's Star Wars Unlimited. So we just want to talk a little bit about it. I don't know when the exact release date was, but it was recent. Like a couple months ago, maybe?
It was actually at the beginning of March.
Oh, so like right when PAX was.
Yeah, very recent. It came out a week or two before PAX.
Got it.
March 8, 2024.
Yep.
Very nice. So I had never played a game like this before. It was a big display, with Star Wars art, obviously. So I walked over, and then Joey had talked about how he liked actually the game. And then I saw that Marcus beat us to the punch, and he was already sitting at a table getting explained the game. And I was like, what the fuck? When did you get here? So,
Dude, I've been here for like an
Easy.
hour, and I finally figured out how to play the game.
oh no, he was pretending to understand what the like developer was saying to him, and that was guiding him through the game. He had his pretend listening face on.
Okay.
Just like smile and nod from like the penguins of Madagascar.
Gotcha.
That was Marcus. And I was completely unsurprised to hear that, oh, the guy that I was playing, he got this one card that let you like draw one extra card, and that was it. The game was over. Like, honestly,
Dude, I got my ass beat. Oh, dude.
like,
it was
honestly, like that card, it's just game over. And meanwhile, that's like not even a good card. It's just like
that card should be
standard issue.
removed.
It's like a standard. It's like a pawn. If you're
It's like
playing
it's
chess,
like a
okay?
nice event card to like pull, and you have three of them in your deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, Marcus, suck less, skate better, and consider the gauntlet thrown for Star Wars Unlimited. But Joey, do you want to take us through some like core concepts of this card game? If you're like Joe, like nerd from the nerking, or oh my
Joe
god, the
working
nerking.
class.
Thank you, Joe
Joe the
working
plumber.
class, Joe the plumber from the nerds community. Words are hard. Apparently, the past 5 minutes.
It's okay.
What's this game like? You both got decks of cards sitting across from each other. What happens next?
So I'm actually going to directly rip this from the company's website. So Fantasy Flight Games is the producer of this trading card game. And they write that Star Wars Unlimited is a trading card game in which each player takes on the role of a leader, an iconic Star Wars character, who rallies their forces into battle to defeat their opponent's base. So the forces are represented by a 50-card deck containing units, events, and upgrades. So those are the 3 different types of cards that you can play. It's played over a series of rounds with 2 phases. The first being an action phase, where you'll play cards from your hand and use them to attack your opponent's base and other units. And then the regroup phase, where you'll draw cards, build up your resources, and ready your units for the next round of battle. So it's got a really interesting mechanic as far as trading card games go. As far as like building the deck and yada yada, we can go into some pretty significant details. But the general scope of it is you have 50 cards to play with. You select 1 base and 1 leader. Those are important because each base and leader comes with what's called an aspect or color. And there are 6 in the game. The aspects that your leader and base have will make up the colors of the cards that you are allowed to play, which is pretty interesting because each color kind of has its own play style, and it kind of stems from the name of it, really, which is cool. So the 6 colors you have are blue, green, red, yellow, white, and black. So the blue card is called Vigilance. That's going to be one that works a lot more on resource development. Command works a little bit more towards like getting a lot of units down on the field and pushing to overwhelm your opponent a little bit with a little bit of strategy. Aggression, it's going to be your heavy hitters, the ones that do the most damage, but they aren't necessarily the strongest in defense. Cunning, which I think is becoming my favorite aspect to run. And those are the ones with a lot of events that are tricky, so it'll make your opponent not be able to do exactly what they're trying to do. So little tricks and twists that you can play on some of the core mechanics of the game. And then heroism, which is going to be just really towards your like really good guys, the people that you think, well, whatever the Star Wars community believes are good guys. So people like Luke, Leia, the Rebel forces, and then villainy, which is going to be your ISB agents.
That's me. There's one of those
Vader.
upstairs.
Yes. So those are the 6 colors. So each of your leaders is going to have 2 colors, and then you select the base to get 3. And those are the, not restrictions, but those are kind of like the backbone for the deck you can build with the rest of your 50 cards. Because if you were to play a card that has the same aspect as your leader or base, you don't have to pay additional resource cost. But say I was running a blue and white deck, if I wanted to play a red card, I would have to pay 2 extra resources to play that card.
Okay.
So it kind of just leads to a whole bunch of different deck building mechanics. Which is why you want to collect all the packs you can.
Yeah, I love the resource like mechanic. I've never played a game like that where like you start with your hand and you go, okay, like you have these number of resources to use, but you can discard cards that you don't want to like. It's almost like you're just banking them for later,
Yeah.
banking them for better cards that are still in the deck.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we talk about resource compared to trading card games like Magic or Pokemon, the resources or mana in this game isn't based off of specific cards. Like in Pokemon, you'll have energy cards that when you open a pack, you always get an energy card, and you're like, oh, who cares about this unless you're actually playing the game.
Right.
And the same thing with land cards in Magic the Gathering. those cards are built into your deck, whereas in Star Wars Unlimited, the 50 cards that you have are all useful cards, units, events, or upgrades. But when you draw your hand of cards, you select, or you may select, one of them to put into your resource bank, not to be used as the card that it actually is, but just like as your mana pool.
Right.
So you can put in cards that aren't necessarily always useful. So like if you had a card that worked really good against Boba Fett, but your opponent was playing Darth Vader, you may not necessarily want that, so you just stash it and use it as mana.
Right.
Which I think is really cool.
Absolutely. Every card's useful.
All
That's
of them.
the end goal.
Yeah, and it gives you a different play, even if you're playing with the same deck every game. It's like, oh, you can. I don't know. I think that's clearly I'm a noob to like trading card games because
Me
it's what
too.
like drew me into Gwent. It's like you can have the same deck every time, but if you're not drawing the cards to do the things that you want to do, it's different every time. And you could get screwed compared to your opponent as to like what came out when.
Right, and
Yep.
that just builds into the strategy of stacking your deck, literally.
Yeah, you gotta learn some sleight of hand when you're shuffling.
Right.
I don't that as a quick sidebar, that always amazes me, like the David Blaine's or just like close up magicians like shuffling. And it's like, the clip that always comes to mind, and the only thing that I can think of is it's somehow pre-planted, but is that clip of him with Harrison Ford, and he's like, describe your card.
Get
Here's
out of
your
my
card.
house.
Here's just sign it. And it makes it fucking appear rolled up inside of an orange that's unpeeled.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the fuck? And Harrison Ford's like, get the fuck out of my house.
Oh, God.
It's like, how do you...
I have no idea how that happens.
There are sometimes some of those that people can legitimately like shuffle a card back in you wouldn't even see.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yep.
like it's possible. I just don't know that black
It's
magic
all sleight of
fuckery.
hand.
Yeah. But this is cool. It drew me in big time.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want to spend a little bit of time talk about your experience with it at PAX, because that was how you were introduced, and it's not like you are a normal trading card game player.
Yeah, 100%. So I saw Marcus sitting down pretending to listen to how to play. But so like the setup at PAX was there was this big banner along the back on like a wall. So, Star Wars Unlimited with some cool Star Wars art, of course. And then there's probably like 15 tables or something, roughly 12 maybe, of like people sitting in pairs of two, and then a bunch of I'm assuming they're Fantasy Flight Games staff. Excuse me, walking around, and they're each pair had like a staff member showing them how to play. Well, where are these bubbles coming from of me burping?
The beer you're drinking.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
I gotta pour it into a glass and stop breaking my rules. I'm not drinking it out of a can, but I know what Marcus feels like now. That's the setup. Bunch of tables. You can just kind of sit at. If there's an open spot, you just go sit and play. So Joey and I sit down at one. And I will say, the person showing us how to play did not really know what the hell they were talking about. Because, like, I think you confirmed it, Joey, that they definitely got the, like, attacking and defending concept screwed up.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that there's a lot of freedom in this game, I feel like. You don't just have to do one thing. Like, you can attack the opponent's base, or you can attack individual units. And you have to, you would think you want to just attack all the base all the time, but you have to strategically realize that, like, okay, if you have an opponent has a starship or a character that's, like, can hit, clap, just, like, do tons and tons of damage. Like, okay, maybe you should focus on trying to take them out first before you do attack their base. So it's the rules for me. It was simple enough to where it was very approachable. It's a lore that I enjoy. It's an IP that I drew me in. It's like, oh, cool, Star Wars stuff. But it's also like the rules are. The gameplay isn't as mechanics are enough of a balance of like just complicated enough to be interesting, but not too complicated to where they're not approachable. If that makes, it's easy to approach it like, oh, this card does damage and this card has this defense stat, whatever, for shields. So, but it's not like, I didn't find it overwhelming at all, even despite our poor instructions.
Yeah.
Which let me like really enjoy it and like start to strategize in my head. Even I think I was strategizing wrong the whole time until like more than halfway through the game when I realized Joey was whooping my ass. And I was like, wait a minute. It's a tabletop game. We can't have this happen. I ended up losing anyways. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
I have a reputation to uphold against Joey specifically for some reason.
Yeah, no, he beats my ass.
It was mostly just Legion.
Play.
It was mostly just Legion. But
Do you know
I feel
you're
like
the reason I haven't entered a Legion tournament in 3 years?
Hey, what do you mean?
I have not.
Serious?
Dang.
Well,
Where to God?
well, you should because
Do you hear that,
You should
Nick? You shattered his dreams.
well, you should just play Empire. I think that's the larger issue.
Yeah, so this kind of goes back to what HX was saying with Moonbreakers about learning the different playstyles of your different like units.
Yeah.
And the rebels that I play for Legion are so complicated and stupid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have enough big brain for that usually when I'm playing those games at the end of the day when the sun goes down.
Yeah, it's like why don't play the simple, straightforward, E11 go pew 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 faction, okay?
Hit me in my white ballistic armor.
ATST go do 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 and Palpatine go zap. Like that's the Empire.
Yeah. But anyway,
It's
away
easy.
from
You
my
just shoot
side
shoot the good guys. And that's
For
it.
the Empire.
Right.
long live the Republic.
But
Rebel scum.
no, I had a lot of fun, and I really going back to Star Wars Ultimate Unlimited. That's what I kept
Unlimited.
calling it was Ultimate. It's not fucking Frisbee.
It's not
It's a
Ultimate
card game.
Frisbee.
But Star Wars Unlimited. I would go check it out. The starter pack is accessible. What was it like $30 or 20 or 35 or so?
$35.
$35 for starter set, which gives you 2 playing mats, 2 full decks of cards, 1 Rebels, 1 Empire, 2 like card deck holders, and then all the tokens that you need to play in like cardboard punch out form, and I think instructions, which is cool.
Yep, you get a whole rule book, which is cool. Ultimately, it's a great value for what it is, but to kind of go back to the actual game itself, the thing that drew me in as far as a different card game, despite the fact that you can use any card in your deck as your resource or mana, was that it's played in 2 different arenas. So the ultimate goal is to attack your opponent's base, but it's Star Wars, so we have a space arena and we have a ground arena. And you can play cards in either of the sides, so you can build the deck that's really space heavy and hope that your opponent really doesn't have anything to combat that, and then you could just rain hellfire down onto their base from above. Or you can build a deck that really focuses on ground units and overwhelming them by force, or you can do that whole mix of things in between, which is really fun, so it allows for a lot of creativity and not rule bending, but rule taking advantage of.
Min-maxing, if you will.
Yeah, min-maxing a little bit. And I think that's, in our trial game, that's actually how I thwomped you a little bit, because you did not focus the space.
No, I did not.
all.
I did not focus on space at all.
Yeah.
I just went... I was playing it like it was Star Wars Legion. I was just attacking your your units. I was like, yeah, I killed everybody. Then I realized, hey, stupid. The point is to kill the base, not the people. You're not getting any fucking end game points here. He was
doing it for the clout.
Right.
I was like, so then I realized, I think I had I was more than halfway dead, or right about halfway dead, and I think I'd done 2 or 3 points of damage to Joey's base. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta get going here.
I'm in a lot of trouble.
I'm in danger.
So
That's funny.
Like the meme. But yeah.
straight up.
So
The back of the bus.
you guys have this experience at PAX, and you're having all this fun, and then I get to hear about it on the podcast later. to kind of quickly interject how I get involved.
Yeah.
And during that episode, I saw, there's like 5 in stock of the starter bundles left on Amazon, and it's $35. I better swoop in and get one. And
Right.
it took a while, but it finally got here. I don't know, was it last week or a couple weeks ago?
I don't even think
I think it was like
it was a few days ago, but
it was like the 8th or something like that. It was
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was
damn.
the single digits, but it was very recently. But now I finally have it. I got my starter deck with the Vader faction. I don't know, Vader deck, I guess I should say.
Yeah,
And
Vader's the
Luke
commander.
deck.
It's like an Empire deck. Yeah.
Yeah, Empire deck and the Rebel deck. And I have to say, for $35, money well spent. Even if I don't get super into this game, the fact that I can immediately play with 2 people, so myself and somebody else, it comes with the 2 decks, all of the, the tokens and the...
Yeah.
It even comes with custom boxes, custom play mats for each person, which, if you laminated them, I feel like it would be a lot better than just having the paper. But even so, super awesome. And you have the rule book, of course. So I'm looking forward to playing this, not just digitally with you guys, but also with some other friends too, once I learn how to play the game and can teach it to somebody else.
Yeah, and I'm like, remembering back to Pokemon when I was like under 10. So we're talking pre-2005, which makes me feel really old. But and Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably around the same time frame. And I remember having a playmat for Yu-Gi-Oh! But I don't remember. Not everybody had one that I was playing against on the playground. And also, nobody had a playmat for Pokemon. I don't even know if that's a thing or not. So like.
they make them now.
Yeah, but like my point being, the fact that this is at an accessible price range, you get 2 decks. So if you want to play and you want to like rope somebody else into it, you're already set to go. You don't have to find somebody that has a deck already. You have the mats, you already have deck boxes built into it and the rule book. So it's like you have a whole set to go play with somebody else. I don't know. I feel like that, and everything is really nice quality. I feel like that's just like a nice, convenient setup to like get more people playing this game.
Yeah, you could just invite a friend over. Yo, hey, let's have a couple beers. Let's play some Star Wars Unlimited.
Yeah.
And, then maybe they're inclined, oh yeah, I'll buy a starter box. And then you get a couple of booster packs just for some variation. Maybe you've spent $50 and now you just have some slight variation for game night.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
even if you could even have like a group of people and then 4 people play some game and then the other 2 are playing Star Wars Unlimited. Like, I don't know. It's a great game night game because, like we said earlier, like the matches don't last too long. So you can get a couple in while somebody else is doing something, making dinner or whatever. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a great party night game.
I totally agree. Joe, how long was our match? You remember? It was like 20 minutes at the most, I think.
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer because we were learning. I think that on the box it's slated anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, I can't. Well, maybe upper level would take 45 minutes, but
yeah,
I think
if you're just playing, you can get it done in 20 minutes, no problem.
Yeah, and that's accessible too, and that's the tough part. I love playing Legion, but it's hard because those games take fucking forever. It's like several hours, no matter how you slice it. You know what I mean? And it's really fun, but it's just hard because it's so.
There's always
a big
a snack
time commitment.
intermission.
Yeah, of course.
There has to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd lose it.
But I enjoy it. Yeah, Star Wars Unlimited.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of
Working Class Nerds.